So why is this guy riding a WR250R with a windscreen? Because that's the way it's gonna be, because Stone Cold said so, man. So here's my WR250R, 2015 model. I've been doing a lot of mods to it in the last 7 or 8 months. I haven't posted a lot of videos, but I've been doing a lot of riding. I've been doing a lot of add-ons to this bike. And I kind of mentioned in the WR review video that I may try to do some sport touring type stuff. So since then, I've got some real racks, some saddlebag racks to put on here. I went with the Tusk. I originally wasn't gonna go with the Tusk because I didn't like this whole rear brace fender looking thing. I thought it looked kind of weird, but I have to tell you, since I'm really glad I went with it because this little brace adds so much stability and strength to this system. So I highly recommend if you do go with whatever system you go with, if you could find one that has a brace on it, I recommend it. It has much more stability to it. So I went with the Nelson Rig Saddlebags. I think I gave $127, I think, for the saddlebags. I think I gave like 75 bucks for the top bag. It's a 39 liter, and this is a 20 something liter. I can't remember what it is, but I'm pretty satisfied with them so far. The only issue I had with these saddlebags is I kind of broke this top buckle. It kind of loops around the brace here, comes around and buckles in the other side. I snapped that off the first single track ride I did. I can't really blame it on the equipment because it was one of those issues where I was driving on single track for 3 or 4 hours, and finally I snagged a tree and it just popped right off. So I'm not going to blame that on equipment. I'm going to blame that on rider area. I just kind of, had a moment of lapse, and it happened. So let's talk about the elephant in the room right here. I know this is at first glance you're like, why do you have a carry bag mounted to your bike? Well, I found this bag at a Goodwill for $6. Inside of it is a $5 Army Surplus Special wet weather bag, and I can tell you that I can carry so much more stuff with this. I have total invested in this setup about $15, and it allows me to carry a whole bunch of luggage. You can see that I have a Tusk top rack mounted on top of this, what I have this mounted to. And I can tell you, between this and these saddlebags, dude, I can tell you, I can carry everything I could possibly think of. I have so much stuff in it. Speaking of, we just had a really good rain here, so pretty much a downpour for a few minutes. So let's open these up and let's see how waterproof they really are. Take my gloves off though to tell. Completely dry. So I just got this pack full of clothes here. Yeah, that's completely dry. That's not one drop of water has gotten in here. So these bags they really are waterproof. I recommend soft saddlebags for these small bikes, simply for the weight. I think this frame stock can only hold about 300 pounds. So I weigh 200, so I kind of have to be mindful of my weight. So I don't recommend the hard luggage, but soft luggage on a little 250 dual sport. I mean, why would you have anything other than waterproof soft luggage? I don't understand what the benefit of having large luggage, other than the fact that you can lock it up. But see, I could take this off in about 8 seconds. I can unhook this bag and take it with me if there's anything valuable in there. Seat concept seat. I bought this as the complete seat I bought, and it's really nice. It ain't, it's kind of like it will not be the first thing I buy, just because it is kind of expensive. But if you have the money and a little bit extra money, you do long distance stuff on your WR, I highly recommend getting the seat concept seat. It's just a little bit wider than the stock seat, and it gives you a little more support. So I'm really satisfied with the seat concept seat. So between all this stuff, I have all the luggage room I can possibly imagine. What else have I done to this bike since last time we spoke, since the review video? The Fastway Evo Evolution 3 foot pegs. I saw a couple other WR riders recommended these, and I have to say I totally agree with them. These are great foot pegs. I think I gave them 134 bucks for them. So they lower the peg by almost an inch and they move it back by probably 5/8, I think. And so it's amazing what down an inch and back will actually, the riding comfort that gives you is amazing. So I highly recommend those pegs. I've added a Parabellum windscreen. I think I gave 115 bucks for it, something like that. It didn't take long at all. Just screwed some holes in there and attached it, and it was really good. And I think it, you know, I mean, for a windscreen on the WR, I mean, I know it looks kind of goofy. If you're a supermoto guy, you're like, why would you ever do that? But for me, I put, you know, I do trips of 400 or 500 miles. So I mentioned in the review video that I was going to flip these handguards. So I did, and I have to tell you, I think that was a really good move. They were pointing straight down. They were down here, but when I flipped them, they put them on the top, and I'd say it's much more visible being on top. So if you have the Zeta handguards, I recommend flipping those. I bought the PowerMad mirrors for like 15 bucks off Amazon. I saw a lot of other riders were recommending them, so I bought them. If you have the Zetas, it honestly took about 5 minutes to mount these. All it is, the PowerMad mirrors come with longer screws. You just replace the screws, put a nut on the other side, bam, you're done. 5 minutes. I have a round mount for like, I don't know how much I gave for it, 40 bucks or so. It's probably the best thing out there right now. So I bought a $15 just cheap adapter, 12-volt adapter, and has a USB ports. I have to tell you, I'm not really impressed with this system. I'm going to buy a better one. If you guys have any recommendations of a better system instead of this old cheap one I bought for $15, I don't like to fool around with anything cheap when it comes to electrical. The only other thing I'm thinking about doing is adding a Rotopax fuel. I've seen a guy that mounts it straight on the inside here. I'm thinking about mounting it right there. All right, so there's your sport touring package for a WR250R. I think it's an awesome package. I mean, I could take all that stuff off in about 3 minutes and it'd be a straight dirt bike again. So that's a great thing about these small CC bikes. That's the great thing about these small CRF 250Ls and WRs and DRZ 400s and stuff, that you can do amazing things with them. You don't have to have a $12,000 African twin to have adventure riding. You don't have to fight the GS 1200 on a trail all day long if you don't want to. You can take a little WR that weighs 300 pounds and putt around all day long. All right, gang, so there's my experiment with the WR250R of trying to make it a sport touring bike. I think I've pulled it off. I can't think of anything else that I want on this bike. It's super comfortable. I can ride it all day long without being tired. Yeah! That's where I work right there, Lockheed Martin. Yeah. I'm an aeronautical physicist, hydration specialist. I make $148,000 a year. And I drive a dirt bike to work. Yeah! I don't think this light's gonna change. Oh yeah, it is. It's gonna change! Yes! It's gonna change because Stone Cold said it's gonna change. Stone Cold says it ain't raining over here, brother. Oh my gosh, look at that rain. Oh my goodness. How am I going to avoid that rain? No, my shoes are getting wet, man. My sandals are getting wet, man. No. Man, I almost made it. Almost made it. Didn't make it, man. I got soaked.